Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Emil and today we are going to crochet this woman's blouse in medium size with 88 centimeters breast circumference and 55 centimeters length. What I have used to make this blouse is about 350 grams of this cotton port yarn, recommended to be worked with a 4 to 5 millimeter crochet hook, and I have used the 4.5 millimeter crochet hook, also 2 place markers and the scissors. So let's get started. Well, let's get started chaining 60 chains, and this is the moment where we have to decide how long we want the sleeve and the blouse. But let's get started twisting the thread with the tail under the thread coming from the bow. And what you're gonna do is introduce the crochet hook into this loop and grab the thread and pull through the loop. And this is how we get the slip knot. And then what you're gonna do is yarn over and pull through the chain. Yarn over and pull through the chain. 2, 3, 4, 5. Once you have the 60 chains, you have to know that the stitch of the blouse, it's made in multiple of 4 stitches. So we got 20 stitches, 20 chains for the large of the sleeve, and 40 chains for the large of the blouse. So if we wanna have longer sleeves, we just need to add chains until we have the large we have, but it has to be multiple of 4. So it could be 24, 28, 32 or 40, or just the large you need, but it has to be multiple of 4 chains. And then for the large of the blouse, it's the same. We just have to add multiple of 4 stitches until we have the large we need for our blouse. So what you're gonna do now is continue with the first row, preparing our blouse. And what you're gonna do is first chain 3 extra, 1, 2, 3, which is the measure of the double crochet. And what you're gonna do is continue with 20 double crochets. So going to the chain number 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is where we are going to make the second double crochet. Yarn over, introduce into the chain the crochet hook, pull the yarn through the chain, and then we're gonna close 2 by 2, 2 and 2. This is how we get our first 2 double crochets, as the 3 chains are counting as another double crochet. Okay, so for the next one, yarn over into the next chain, pull through the chain, close 2 and 2, 3 double crochets, 4, 5, and this is how we continue until we have 20 double crochets for the large of the sleeve. Once we have the 20 double crochets and we know that this is the large of our sleeve, what we are going to do is continue with the large of our blouse. And what you're gonna do to separate these two parts is chaining for 1, 2, 3, 4. And actually here is where we are going to start from the next row with the increases. So what you're gonna do is place this place marker here, and actually probably you're not going to need it, but I'm going to place it just to see where we are going to make the increases. Anyway, what you're gonna do now is continue with double crochets until the end of the chains, and if everything is going okay, we should have 40 chains. So from the next chain we are going to continue with double crochets in each one of them until the end of the first row. Once we have the 40 double crochets until the end of the chains, what we are going to do is turn our labor and continue with the second row, where we are going to start with the increases. And you have to know as well that the second row is the wrong part of the label. So what you're gonna do first is we have to continue with the sequence of 2 double crochets and 2 chains. So for the first double crochet, we are going to make 1 single crochet in the very first chain here. Grab the yarn and close these 2 loops together. So this is going to count as 1 chain, and then we're going to chain 2 more, 1 and 2. So this is the measure of the double crochet, and now we are going to make 1 double crochet into the next chain, 1 double crochet. Okay, so we already have the 2 double crochets, and then what we are going to do is chain 2, skipping these 2 chains. We're gonna start from the third chain with another 2 double crochets, 1 in each chain after the second one. Again, 2 chains, 1, 2, skipping 2 chains. From the third, we're gonna do 1 double crochet and 2 double crochets. Skipping 2 and the last 2 double crochets, 1 and 2. And if you see, we have another 2 stitches before the place where we are going to make the increase. So what we're going to do is first chain 2 to skip these 2 stitches, and then we're gonna start with the increase, doing 1 double crochet and 2 double crochets. Then we're gonna chain 2, 1 and 2, and we're gonna make the V, which is 1 double crochet, 1 chain and another double crochet. And what you're gonna do is move the place marker to this V, which is here. And here is where we always gonna have the V and the 2 increases on each side of the V. So to over with the increase, what you're gonna do is chain 2 and another 2 double crochet in the same place. Then we need to continue with the same sequence of 2 double crochet and 2 chains. So we're gonna chain 2, 1, 2, skipping the 2 first stitches. We continue with another 2 double crochets, 1 and 2. So this is how we are going to make always the increase on the wrong side, but I'm going to show you again. And then we're gonna continue with 2 chains, skipping 2 stitches and 2 double crochets. So this is how we continue until the end of the second row. Well, this is the sequence you are going to have always on the wrong part of the blouse, and here you are about to over the second row with last 2 double crochets. And let's turn the label and continue with the third row, where the sequence of the right side of the blouse of the label will be again 1 double crochet in each stitch. So we're gonna start again with 1 single crochet, chain 2 and 1 double crochet into the next double crochet of the row below. Then where we have 2 chains, we're gonna complete them with 2 double crochets, 1 and 2. And then we have again 2 double crochets, so we're gonna do 2 double crochets, 1 and 2. Again, in the next place of 2 chains, we're gonna do again 2 double crochets, 1 and 2. And this sequence we are going to have until we go to the place marker, where we are going to repeat the increase. Here is where we have the increase of the row below, and if you see, we have the 2 double crochets, 2 chains, the V of 1 double crochet, 1 chain, another double crochet, and then we have another 2 chains and 2 double crochets. So on this side of the label, of the right side of the label, what we are going to do is continue with double crochet until the space before the V. So we're gonna continue with 2 double crochets in the 2 double crochets of the row below, then 2 double crochets in the 2 chains of the row below, 1 and 2, and here we have the V. So what you're gonna do is chain 2 and the V, which is 1 double crochet, chain 1 and another double crochet. So we have the new V of the middle in where we do the increase. So we are going to move the place marker into the next V, into the new V here. And we're gonna continue again with the next increase, which will be chain 2, and from the next space here we're gonna do 2 double crochets, again 2 double crochets in the double crochets of the row below, and this is how we're gonna complete all the stitches of the row below, so we don't skip any stitch of the row below. And this is how we continue until we over the row number 3. Well, how we over the row? We got the 2 last double crochet, 1 in the penultimate double crochet, and the last double crochet we're gonna do it into the 3rd chain. 1, 2, 3 in the 3rd chain. Here, the last double crochet. And then what we're gonna do is turn our work, and we're gonna continue again with the wrong side of the blouse. And what we're gonna do is again 1 single crochet, chain 2, and 1 double crochet in the next stitch. Then we're gonna chain 2, skipping 2 stitches. We continue with another 2 double crochets, 1 and 2. So again we have the same sequence of chain 2 and 2 double crochets. So this sequence we're gonna continue until the increase, until the place marker, where we're gonna make again the increase. So let's continue with it. Well, the stitch is calculated the way that we are always going to over with 2 double crochets before the 2 last double crochets of the row below. And here is where we are going to start again with the increase. So what we are going to do again is chain 2. In the space before the V, we are going to do another 2 double crochets, and then we're gonna do the V, which, if you remember, is chain 2, 1 double crochet, chain 1, and 1 double crochet in the V of the row below, of the previous row. And then we are going to move the place marker to the next V. And then what you're going to do again is complete the increase, which will be chain 2, and into the next space we do 2 double crochets, chain 2, and skipping 2 stitches we do 2 more double crochets. So this is how it looks again, the increase of the new row of the row number 4. So we're gonna complete the row number 4 with the sequence of 2 double crochets and 2 chains until the end of the row. So let's continue with it. The 2 last double crochets of the row number 4, we have this, and the last one is into the 3rd chain here, And these are the first 4 rows of our blouse. So the sequence of the 2 last rows we are going to repeat until we have 12 rows total. We already have 4 rows, so we need another 8 rows with the sequence of the 2 last rows until we have 12, where we are going to separate our work in 2 parts, one for the sleeve and one for the main part of the blouse. So let's continue. Well, this is how it looks like after the 12 rows of this stitch, and you can count 6 rows of the double crochets, all double crochets, and 6 rows of the double crochets of the pairs of double crochets with the holes. And let me remind you that this is the part of the sleeve and this is the main part of the blouse. So what we are going to do is continue with double crochets in each stitch of the row below until the penultimate pair of double crochets. It means that the increase we are going to leave it free, then we're going to continue with the main part of the blouse. So let's continue with this part. Well, the same way we started all the rows until now, we are going to start again the same way with 1 single crochet, chain 2, and then we're going to complete all the stitches of the row below with 1 double crochet until we go to the ultimate pair of double crochet. So in each row we're gonna complete again with 2 double crochets, and each pair of double crochet we're gonna work it with another double crochet. So let's continue with it. Well, to be more exactly, we need to continue until we have 38 double crochet, and what we are going to do is cut the yarn and pass it through the last stitch, and this is how we over this part of the blouse of the sleeve. And now what we are going to do is continue on this side. Well, to continue with this part of the blouse, what we are going to do is skip the first pair of double crochet after the V. So we're gonna start with from the second pair, and we're gonna start from the first double crochet of the second pair. What we're gonna do here is slip the yarn, and then we're gonna chain 3, 1, 2, and 3. Then we're gonna continue with 1 double crochet in each stitch of the row below. And actually we have to continue until we have 5 rows of the same stitch. What it means? It means that we have to continue with 1 double crochet in each stitch until the end of the row, and then on the wrong side we are going to continue again with double crochet, 2 chains, double crochet, 2 chains, 2 double crochets, 2 chains, 2 double crochets, until again where we have started. And it will be the second row. The third row again it will be all double crochet, and the fourth row will be again 2 double crochets, 2 chains, and the fifth row will be again all double crochets. So we're gonna continue with 5 rows, so let's continue with them. Once we have the 5 rows on this side, what we are going to do is turn 180 degrees our labor, and what we are going to do is continue on this side from the tail, where we have the tail. We are going to continue absolutely the same way as we did on this side of the blouse. So we are going to start from here into the first double crochet of the very first row. Here we're gonna slip the yarn, and then we're gonna start with chaining 3, 1, 2, 3 as always, and then we're gonna continue with double crochet in each double crochet of the very first row. And if everything is going okay, we should have 40 double crochet until the space where we have to start again with the increases here on this side. Here I have my last double crochet, and here is where we are going to make the 4 initial chains for the increases. So we make 4 chains, we do 4 chains, and then we continue with double crochets again until the end of the row. We can place the place marker the same way as on the other side, and let's continue with the rest of the double crochets. Well, this is again the row number 1, and on this side we have to continue again until we have 12 rows. So what you're gonna do here is first, over this first row, we are going to search for the 3rd chain and do the last double crochet, turn our work, and then we're gonna continue again with the 2nd row, where we start with the order of 2 double crochets and 2 chains. So let's start as always with the single crochet, chain 2 and 1 double crochet, then chain 2, skipping 2 stitches from the row below, do 2 double crochets again, and we're going to continue until the place marker, where we are going to do the increase of 2 double crochets, 2 chains, 1 V, 2 chains and 2 double crochets. So let's continue. After the 2 last double crochet, what we should have here is another 2 chains, which we're gonna skip with chain 2, and we're gonna start with the increase of 2 double crochets, 1 and 2. Then we're gonna do another 2 chains, 1, 2, the V of 1 double crochet, 1 chain 1 and 1 double crochet. And now we can move the place marker to the V. And then to over the increase, we do another 2 chains and 2 double crochets, 1 and 2. And to continue with the rest of the main part of the blouse, we have to do again chain 2, skipping 2 stitches, we're going to go to the 3rd one and we start with the double crochet. Okay, this is the row number 2, and we have to continue the same way with 12 rows of the same stitch. 1 row with all double crochet and 1 row with 2 double crochet and 2 chains, and always the same increase in the middle. So let's continue with 12 rows. Well, this is how it looks like after the 12 rows on this side, the blouse. And the difference between both parts is that we have on the right side we have the main part, and on the left side we have the sleeve. So instead of continue with the sleeve, we're gonna continue with the main part, and we're gonna continue with 5 rows, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rows of the same stitch for the main part. So we're gonna continue first with the first row with double crochet until the penultimate couple of double crochets, and then we're gonna turn our label and continue on the wrong side with the order of 2 double crochets, 2 chains, 2 double crochets and 2 chains. So we're gonna continue with this order for 5 rows. Well, this is how it looks like after the 5 rows of the main part of the blouse, and if you see, we have only the 2 double crochets, the V and the double crochet here, which is the increase. So to continue with the last row of the sleeve, what we are going to do is skip all these 3 couples of double crochet, which is double crochet, 2 double crochets, 1 V and 1 double crochet, and from the first couple of double crochet after the increase, we are going to start again. We're gonna slip the yarn, and then we're gonna chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and then we're gonna continue with 1 double crochet in each stitch of the row below, and at the same time we are going to hide the tail between the double crochets we are doing. Well, this is how it looks like after the last row of the sleeve, and what we are going to do is fold this part of the blouse, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna continue joining the both parts of the sleeves, and then we're gonna do the same in the middle from down to top with the tail we had in the last row of the main part of the blouse. So we have the same way, so we're gonna join all the parts together the same way as we are going to do it here. So I'm going to show you how to do it in the sleeve first. Well, it's not difficult, but it's a different way to join the different parts of the blouse. And what we're gonna do is fold it with the wrong side looking out. And what we're going to do now is we're gonna look for the very first stitch on this side, which will be the 3 chains of the measure of the double crochet. And what we're gonna do now is first go to the very first chain to the very first stitch on this side. We're gonna introduce the crochet hook, yarn over, and into the 3rd chain introduce the crochet hook, and we're gonna do double crochet until here. And this chain, the previous chain, we're gonna slip it. Then we go to the next stitch, introduce the hook, go to the other part of the blouse, of the sleeve, yarn over, introduce into the next chain, pull the yarn, close 2, and the previous stitch, slip it. And now what we're gonna do is do 2 slip stitch, 1 into the next 2 stitches, 1 and 2. Then we go to the next one, introduce the hook, yarn over, then we're gonna skip on the other side of the sleeve 2 stitches, 1, 2, and we're gonna do 2 double crochets again. Look. Here 1 double crochet, and then we slip the stitch, the previous stitch. Again, go to the next, yarn over, and into the next stitch on the other side of the sleeve, 1 double crochet and slip stitch. Again, 2 slip stitches, 1 and 2. Then we go to the next stitch, introduce the hook, yarn over, skip 2 stitches on the other side of the sleeve, and into the 3rd one we do 1 double crochet and slip. Again, go to the next one, yarn over, 1 double crochet and slip. And this is how we're gonna continue until we join all the borders of the sleeve. Well, if everything is going okay, we should have the same sequence of 2 double crochets and 2 chains, the same as the rest of the stitch, and this border stays inside, so don't worry about it. And what you're gonna do is just over with 1 slip stitch, and we're gonna continue with the rest of the borders, joining them. Well, these are the 2 last parts of the blouse, and I'm joining them at the back. So here I have the 2 last double crochets, 1, 2 before the 2 last double crochets, 2 slip stitches, then we do 2 double crochets in the 2 double crochets on the other side of the blouse. And I'm going to show you how it looks like until now, and then we're gonna continue with the border around the neck. So let's over here with the last double crochet, and we're gonna continue now with the border around the neck. But before that, so if you see, the hole around the neck is very big, and we do that because we need space to continue with another 2 rows doing the border around the neck. And this is how it looks like where we have joined the parts. This one is the middle of the two parts where you have joined them, and then we got at the sleeves as well, the same here on this side as well. And it's supposed to be this, this one is supposed to be the part, the back part of the blouse, as we are going to continue around the neck, and here is where we will hide at the end the tail. So let's turn the blouse and let's continue with those two rows. And for them, what we are going to do first is we're gonna go to the next line where we have the holes. So we are going to work only the rows with the holes, with the slip stitches. What it means? It means that we are not going to work the lines with the all completed double crochet. So I'm going to the next double crochet with slip stitch. Then we're gonna chain 3, 1, 2, 3. Well, what we're gonna do is one double crochet into the same space, and then we have to go to the next space the same way with chaining 2 and 2 double crochet into the same space, into the next space. 1, 2, again chain 2 into the next space. We go with another 2 double crochet, and we have to go to the V where we're gonna repeat with another V. So what you're gonna do is work the same way the next space with chaining 2, 1, 2, 2 double crochet, 1 and 2 double crochet, and then we go to the V. We have to do another V in the V of the row below. So chain 2, 1 double crochet, chain 1 and another double crochet into the same space. So we have repeated the V of the row below, then chain 2 and 2 double crochet into the next space. Once we complete all the row around the neck, what we are going to do is chain 2 and go to the very first 3 chains where we are going to do 1 slip stitch, and then we're going to continue with the last row of the border, and we're going to chain 3, then 1 double crochet into the next double crochet of the row below, and then where we have the spaces, what we are going to do is 2 double crochets together, which means yarn over, pull the yarn through the space, close only 2 of the loops, and then we're gonna go for another double crochet into the same space, and we do another double crochet, and we are going to close all them together with the previous stitch. Then we're gonna work each double crochet of the row below with another double crochet, and then into the next space we're going to do 1 double crochet and 2 double crochet together. This is how we are going to continue around the neck, and where we have the V's, the V stitch, we are going to repeat it. So let's go to the V and see how we do it. Here we have 2 double crochets. This is the space before the V, and we're gonna do 2 double crochets together. And then what we're gonna do with the V is the first double crochet, 1 double crochet. Then we have the V, which is 1 double crochet, chain 1 and another double crochet into the same space, and then we do the double crochet of the V, the second double crochet of the V. This is how we do each V of the neck, and then we continue with the spaces between each couple of double crochets. This is how we're going to continue all around the neck with the last row of the border. Well, once we have the last row of the border around the neck, what we are going to do is continue with the borders around the sleeves and the bottom part of the blouse. We are going to do slip stitch here into the 3rd chain, and we're going to cut the yarn, flip it, and then we're gonna hide it with the sewing needle. And now we're gonna continue with, well, to continue in this part with the borders, what you're going to do is first we're gonna add the thread here. We're gonna pass it through any of the border stitches of the completed lines with double crochet, not with the hole, not with the holes. Then we're gonna chain one first with the tail, and then we're gonna chain two more with the yarn coming from the bow. This is how we start the 3 chains in this part, and we do it to make sure this thread. And then we're gonna do 1 double crochet at the same space, and then chain 2, 1, 2. Again, 2 double crochet into the next completed line of double crochets, 1 and 2. Again, chain 2 and into the next line 2 double crochets. This is how we're gonna continue all the row. 1 and 2 chains. Then we're gonna do slip stitch into the 3rd chain, and then we're gonna continue with the last row with 1 double crochet in each stitch of the row below. So we're gonna start with chaining 3, then 1 double crochet into the next double crochet of the row below, and then into the 2 chains of the row below we're gonna do 2 double crochet, 1, 2. Then into the pair of the double crochets of the row below we do 2 double crochets again, and again 2 double crochets into the 2 chains of the row below. And this is how we're gonna continue until we over the last row of the border. Well, the same 2 rows we use for all the borders of the sleeves and the bottom, and this is how it looks like the blouse, and I hope you really like it. And if you have any question, don't hesitate to do it in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe. Bye bye.